Let's talk about naming unbranched alkanes. And I have slash parent chain here because the same way you name your unbranched alkane is the same way you're going to name your parent chain when you get to branch alkanes, right? So let's define what an unbranched alkane is. An unbranched alkane, right, is an alkane that does not have a branch group slash a substituent, right? So let's look at an example real quick between an unbranched and a branch alkane. So an unbranched alkane, an example is, right, that's just one, two, three, four, 5 carbons in a long chain. There's no substituent here. A branched alkane, however, would look like this. This is the long chain of carbon here, and that's the branch, right? So remember, once you find your long chain, anything hanging off of it is the branch. So now that we've defined that, and we'll talk about naming branch next, but let's just focus on how we name our unbranched. So to name your unbranched alkane, right, of course, you count the number of carbons in your longest chain of carbon. This one is simple. We have 5 carbons. Remember, we said that if the parent chain has 5 carbons, the name begins with pent, and it's an alkane, so this is pentane. That's how you name your unbranched chain. So your unbranched chain, the name has a prefix, the name has a prefix, right? And it has a suffix. Now the prefix tells me the number of carbons in the long chain slash parent chain, right? And the suffix tells me the class of compound that the molecule belongs to, okay? So an unbranched alkane, when you name it, the name has a prefix and it has a suffix. Prefix tells you the number of carbons in the longest chain, and the suffix will tell you the class of compound, the class that the compound belongs to. Let's look at an example that's not a line angle. So let's say we had this. So we have 1, 2, 3 carbons in our long chain, and I already taught you how to identify long chain. There's 3 carbons in our long chain here. So the name, the prefix, or the name begins with prop, and it's an alkane, so it's A and E, right? You also know that this is an alkane for, there are different things here that tells you this is an alkane, right? You have a carbon-carbon single bond. That's our functional group for our alkane. Also, the general molecular formula for an alkane also helps you to know that this is an alkane. And I'm telling you this for when we start adding different classes of compounds, right? So the functional group and the CnH2n tells you, because this would be C3, 2 times 3, 6 plus 2, 8. You have 3 carbons and 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 3 carbons and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if you didn't recognize that this is an alkane, these are the 2 ways you can realize that it's an alkane. You only have carbon-carbon single bonds. And in addition to that, you only have carbons and hydrogens.